that awkward 10 seconds or so that it takes to actually start the stream.
Yeah.
There we go. Right connection. I think we're live. And yep, seconds we're live. I will kill that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another review of Gman's craziness. We've got Jules here. Give it up for Jules. Link is in the chat if anybody needs one later. I put it in Discord all over the place. So feel free to come in. We're going to just get right to it here and see if we can find this craziness and try to address a little bit of it because it's weirdness. How to deal with a troll and how to deal with them for good. Oh, boy. Here's our favorite buddy. Let's get him going.
Wow, he's so cool.
What a jacket.
Okay, so we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to GTV. I am Gman, your host, and it looks like I did this at a very good time. Somebody must be doing a really big show. Yes. Thank you for the person that's doing a big show.
Oh, give me some
That's kept the people away from my channel, so I can actually do this in peace. Again, everyone, hello, welcome to GTV. I'm Gman, your host. Sorry I haven't been uploading that many videos or making any posts, nor leaving any comments. I've been really busy with work. Tough times right now at work are kind of tough, and I just don't got time for social media the way I used to. But I do have time right now, so I'm going to make a video.
I mean, how hard can his work life be, to be honest?
Today, due to my skip.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, what are you actually doing that's keeping you so busy that you can't even make a stream at night?
Well, it better be in construction because
so
he said that.
Let's talk about the topic here today, and I'm making this video to help.
Better be in construction because he said what?
He said that that any other work isn't a real job.
Oh, I see.
Like, I mean, fuck the doctors, you know. Oh, do you care if I cuss?
No, go ahead.
Okay, it's like fuck the doctors, you know, that save people's lives every day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's see.
People who have gone through. Been through what I've been through on here, and other people who are presently being harassed by internet trolls.
Oh.
And today I'm going to show you what the world thinks about internet trolling. You see, the people that do the internet trolling believe they're not breaking any laws. The people that do the internet trolling don't believe they're doing anything wrong. The people who do the internet trolling believe that they're invincible and nothing can happen to them. Well, you're going to hear me say some things in this video, and I think these things need to be said. And the reason why they need to be said is because there are some people out there that need some reminders about some things. First and foremost, if you're new to my YouTube channel, I am a Bible-believing Christian, okay, despite what the world thinks. I believe that God is real. I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. And I believe that I have eternal life because I place my faith, my trust, and my hope in him. And I believe he's already defeated the garbage of this world. And if we would just place our faith in him, you know what I mean? If you would just do that, then you can experience the joy that we Christians experience when we are abiding in him.
We can fix that.
I got to say this because of what I'm about to say. For those of you who don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I want to make something perfectly clear to you. Number one, I don't care if you don't believe it. I do. John chapter 3, verse John 3:18 says, because you don't believe, you are condemned already. Why? Because you have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Every moment you have on this planet, every day that you're breathing air is borrowed time.
Yeah, I want to stop there. This is kind of an argument against G-Man's argument. He talks about John 3:18. All you got to do is believe. Those that are believed will be saved. Those who don't believe will be condemned. So he keeps talking about if you live in sin, you're going to the lake of fire, blah, 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 blah. But all you got to do is ask for forgiveness and believe at the end, man. Your religion has the loophole. Ours, we want to be good people all the time. You just got to be a good person when you die. So I always love it when they bring up John 3:18 because it's actually a pretty shitty argument for Christianity. But anyway.
Oh, that's not shocking.
You understand? And your day of judgment is coming. As long as you continue to sin, you are going to you're going to be perfectly justified. God's going to be perfectly justified for throwing you in the lake of fire. That's why I absolutely can't wait to do my little series I'm going to do on hell. with Vecco and a few other people, why we will have no issue watching non-believers burn for all of eternity.
Can't wait for
their
that.
evilness and their wickedness.
I know,
They
right?
know what
I
they're
just
doing.
can't wait to go to the
These
lake
are
of fire.
premeditated things that they're doing. They had time to think about the things that they're doing. So in my view, they deserve everything that they're going to get.
How lovely.
So nothing happened. How you doing, Kamal? 194.
194.
So today, because Brett Keane isn't on here no more.
Wait, why Brett Keene's not on here anymore? Somebody's behind the times. He needs to talk to Will Kincaid. Brett Keane is on here. You silly, uninformed person.
I'm gonna have to take the mantle of this until he gets back. So I'm gonna tell everybody on how to deal.
Jules, you don't have
with
something open, do
internet
you?
trolls here on YouTube and on Google, as well as Skype and WhatsApp and any other part of social media that you're on. But before we do that, we need a working definition of what an internet troll is. Okay, it's a little subjective. You know what I mean? Because it's going to mean something different to everybody. But there is a general definition for what an internet troll is, what their
Does
purpose
it sound
is
better?
in their psyche. We're going to get into this. So if you're an internet troll, you are not going to like this.
Damn it, we're not going to like it.
I'm warning you right now. If you want to go watch bunny rabbits, if you want to go look at lions eat deer, if you want to go watch one of my rat videos or something like that, this is the time to go do it, because you are going to get offended. And I am talking to internet trolls. Okay? Because I meant what I said earlier when I said you deserve the punishment that is awaiting you.
Sorry, I got to unmute every time. Does anybody think it's ironic that Gman himself admits to trolling people?
Oh, he trolled me.
He was trolling you, and he said all that stuff about Strudel. Didn't he say that was all trolling? He was just kidding. It was a joke. He was trolling you.
Yeah, he said that the strudel thing to burnt toast, but he said he was trolling me when he told me to go make him a sandwich. So
I do recall him actually using the word trolling you. So
yeah, he goes, "This is how you troll."
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Every last second of it. And for some of you, it's coming sooner than later. All right. So with that being said, let's define what an internet troll is. And let's decide whether or not this is a good working definition for a internet troll. Okay. We're going to get this one out of Wikipedia. Now, the reason why I have no problem getting this out of Wikipedia, guys, is because of what you're going to be listening to later, which is pretty consistent with what you're listening to here. Okay. Typically, there's nobody out there except for a fellow internet troll that will say something positive about an internet troll. And there's a reason for it. But let's get into this.
As always, you guys can just say
internet slang, a troll is a person who starts flame wars or intentionally, that means they do it on purpose, okay, upsets people on the internet by posting inflammatory and digressive, extraneous, off-topic messages in an online community, such as news groups, forum, chat rooms, or blogs, with the intent of provoking readers into displaying emotional responses.
By the way, that was straight off Wikipedia, and he skipped all the hard words, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh, I was thinking that too.
I was going to share a screen on it, but he just read it, and it was so funny. He actually stopped when the bigger words started coming there at the end. But I thought that was amusing.
That's their number one goal for doing what they're doing. They want an emotional response. Okay? And they want that emotional response to be a negative emotional response. Now, you might be sitting back and wondering, well, okay, so G-Man, we kind of already knew that definition. Well, why would they want this negative emotional response? But before we get to the why, let's talk about how people respond to these things. To this internet trolling. Some people will get angry and will break their computers. They will break their laptops. They will lash out in a fit of rage, which I've done on here. But I want to see that I think I've gotten rage worthy on here maybe 5, maybe 8 times.
And of those times, they have been a complete fucking meltdown.
Yeah, 5 or 8 times. I think the man protests a bit too much.
Like when you call 911 live on a stream over internet drama, you have that's rock bottom.
When was that?
Oh, that
back when he was in the house, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when he was still in the attic. I mean, this is years ago. Laura saved that video that's the same video where he doxes like 8 different people, and he legit calls 911 live on drag.
Oh, I didn't see that. I don't know if y'all have the video. I can see that's probably like censored with the doxes.
Yeah, the doxes are censored.
Yeah, the video I'm talking about that Laura had, it's completely scrubbed.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like Laura even covers up when Gman doxes himself when he calls 911.
Dang, I really need to see that video. I wasn't around. Obviously, I'm newer to Gman. Obviously, found him through Shani. So I just know everything that I've watched through drag, pretty much about Gman.
Yeah, I think he's reviewed it too. I'll see if I can find it and drop it in Tard Yard or something later.
Cool.
Continue.
Most of the time when I get on here, I get extremely passionate about what I believe, and I don't hold back, and I say what I need to say. But for other people, they get on here and they lash out and they rage. Now, I want you to imagine this. Imagine a person doing that to a person's face. And you're doing that to get this person to be emotional. What do you think is going to happen to the troll? That is why they do it behind the computer screen. When they meet you in person, they're a totally different person altogether. A totally different person. Okay?
Granted, I'm less of an asshole in real life, but I'm still an asshole.
I say the same thing. Like, I am very... I don't want to say awkward because I'm not awkward like that, but I'm not going to walk up to somebody and be like, ha ha ha, you're fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd ask him the same questions I ask on here because I always try to ask honest questions and not provoke, but there's questions out there that need to be answered, and I'd be perfectly comfortable asking them to his face, just like I would on here. Why are you such a shill for Shani and Ref? Why do you do that?
Not to get off topic, but I will say that the only video funnier than G-Man calling 911 is the video of Von Helton calling Scotland Yard.
I missed that one. I can see it.
So, it gets funnier because one of Von's long-standing trolls happens to live in Scotland.
Annabelle? Is that
No.
No.
Different person.
Okay. Scottish bro.
Well, put 2 and 2 together. He calls Scotland Yard to try to arrest someone in Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland Yard's in England.
Oops.
What an idiot.
Brilliant minds.
190 IQ, folks.
They cause you to like I said, to burst out in rage, to fight your friends on here. Believe me, that's one of their goals. One of their goals is to get you to fight your friends for their own personal entertainment, to destroy relationships. Why? For their own personal entertainment. That's why they're doing the things that they're doing. They don't like you, so they want to discourage you. And even their ultimate goal is to get you to quit whatever social media form that you're on. In this case, they're trying to get you to quit YouTube. Some of them want you to quit Blog Talk Radio. They want you to stop being a public figure. And how are they going to accomplish this? By trolling you and getting and throwing these inflammatory, off-topic statements at you to get you super angry. They know how to push your buttons. Okay. Why are they doing these things? What's going on in these people's heads?
Oh, it's our
The answer
fault.
may
We're
surprise
the
you.
crazy ones.
Of course. What's in their heads?
Like, it just doesn't make sense. My issue, especially with Shani, is that obviously she has mental issues that she doesn't get sorted out. And whether that is she's lying to her therapist and really isn't trying in therapy, which I do not think therapy has helped her at all. I mean, I could be wrong because I'm not there 24/7 with her, but just what she shows on YouTube is no different than videos you've seen from like even a year ago. So, um, I don't think I'm not sitting here saying like y'all need to delete all your accounts. I'm sitting here saying if you cannot take the hate or the backlash you get, then log out. Like
And go.
and go like leave. Like you don't have to be here. No one is forcing you to be here.
And that's always the advice from the people who are giving honest advice for Rev and Shanny is just leave for a while, take a break. You know, you don't have to leave forever. Just let things sizzle down a little bit.
Well, I think it was Phony Beatlemaniacs when Shanny opened up her stream to everyone to kind of air grievances. When she did the whole like the people on the internet are making me do this, and she shows up the little scratch mark on her wrist, and he says the simplest thing is, then it's time to leave the internet for a little bit. And her first reaction is, no, I'm not getting off the internet for anybody.
Yeah, why should I have to? And then lately it's been, why should I have to give up what I like to do for a man?
Yeah.
With Rev sitting right there, you know.
She doesn't get it. She'll never get what it's like to be like not so selfish, because I guess it's always been about her to obviously to Shanny, according to Shanny, it's always about her. Right. But at some point, even last night when Chris was talking about how they had that there it was her son's birthday and they were having a party, and of course that same day Shanny has to go around sobbing and saying oh blah 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 because it's not about her anymore. So yeah. I just don't get it.
See, this is what I believe, ladies and gents. I believe that these people are mentally ill. I believe that these people need their medication. Okay, and if you think I'm alone in thinking this, you're crazy. First, how about we hear it directly out of the atheist's mouth about the consequences of trolling before we get to the psychology of it. I just so happened to find the Young Turks, who happen to be atheists, who talked about the consequences of a person who trolls somebody the wrong way. You see, one of the ongoing lies in this community that I've recently found out, and not from YouTube, I'm talking about from real lawyers. You can't get away with doing this stuff. Not if somebody decides to drag you to court. You see, the ones that don't show their face, that have VPNs, and they'll be a lot harder to get a hold of, but they're not impossible. Like we have great technology today. Nobody can hide behind VPNs. If they want you, they're going to find you. I can promise you that.
Yes.
Just like they found Osama bin Laden and these other people and whatnot. You know what I mean? If they
he's
want
comparing
you,
us
they're
to
going to find you.
Terrorists.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, more typical Gman. What we do is just as bad as Osama bin Laden, and they can find you.
See, the funniest thing about this whole video was he brings up that all of his trolls happen to be atheists, but the one thing he kind of glosses over is the fact that one of the people who was a mod in his chat is basically excommunicated from every community he's ever been in, and that's Pillbox. Yeah, Pillbox had a nasty habit of back in the G+ days of calling people pedophiles. And with one person in particular, he did it so often that it actually affected him in real life.
Interesting.
But the ones that's dumb enough to do it and show their face, at some point they're going to be behind bars, or they're going to be seriously reprimanded by the system. Okay, you want proof of this? Let's go to the Young Turks here real quick. And I was very surprised they talked about this, but this is the consequences of trolling, ladies and gents.
Internet troll Sean Duffy is facing some jail time after he was mocking the deaths of several teenagers. This is a really fascinating story because you see internet trolling all the time, people writing crazy things on YouTube videos, on social networking sites. And in a lot of cases they get away with it because of the anonymity of the internet. But it turns out that Sean Duffy, who's 25 years old, would specifically target families who had just lost a teenager in their lives. Okay, so in one case, there was a 14-year-old girl who committed suicide because she was being bullied. She lay on the train tracks and allowed a train to run over her. She killed herself, and of course that's devastating to her family. And
I'm gonna tell you, internet trolls something here. Y'all better hope that God Shanny don't commit suicide.
Or what?
I know who every last one of you are.
No, you don't.
And I also know who's giving you your legal advice too.
No, you don't.
And I won't get a drop of sleep until I see justice for her.
Oh my
If she
gosh,
does
he's
anything
gonna
to
be the
herself.
detective on the case.
Now he's trying to justify why he's not going to be sleeping well.
Let's see. Let me remove this one. I'm going to share a different screen so we can get the actual real story of Sean Duffy, which I think's it's a little 3-minute thing from the BBC, but
Okay.
and then we'll compare that to what Gman says about it. Got to start it though. Here we go.
18 minutes past 9. A man's been jailed for 18 weeks for posting abusive images on websites dedicated to children
who had died. 25-year-old Sean Duffy from Reading has also been banned from using social networking sites for 5 years. Our reporter Ben Moore has the latest from Southampton.
This person was hiding behind the computer, you know. For me, you can't see him, you can't do anything, you know.
This is the reality of what's known as trolling, abuse of the dead. As well as losing a beloved 14-year-old daughter, the Drew family's precious memories were violated.
It's very hard for a family, you know. You all try and protect your kids, you know. We've all got them. Hopefully, you know, nothing will ever happen to them like what happened to us and the rest of the families.
The man who did it, 25-year-old Sean Duffy, is now behind bars.
It was quite frustrating because we couldn't stop it. We didn't know how to stop this person. And for the pain we was going through anyway, we didn't anticipate that we'd have to deal with this as well. And I remember going up, lying next to her and just crying and thinking, you know, I can't protect her from this. And I know she's gone and, you know, and we couldn't stop it and we didn't know how to stop it.
Duffy was a troll, a person who scoured the media for reports of young tragic deaths. He'd then find tribute websites and leave the vilest abuse. One of Duffy's victims was 15-year-old Natasha McBride. She died on Valentine's Day this year after she committed suicide by throwing herself under a train. The day after her death, Duffy logged onto her Facebook tribute page, and what he left there is too distressing to the family for us to report. Duffy thought he targeted 4 families anonymously. He was wrong.
You'll always be found. It's always possible to trace back to the individual. Everything leaves a trail. Data can always be captured. So we will inevitably get to the bottom of who they are, what they've done on a site or on a system, and be able to prove that in a court of law.
Duffy, who suffers from Asperger's syndrome, pleaded guilty to 2 charges of sending a communication of indecent nature. He admitted 3 other charges and was sentenced to serve 18 weeks concurrently. The magistrate also handed down an ASBO, banning Duffy from social media sites for 5 years.
By his own account, Mr. Duffy was trying to gain attention by upsetting families that lost loved ones. That's what he, you know, he himself acknowledges that. The intention was to cause hurt and damage to those families. That's what trolling is. Obviously, in a social networking context, by posting messages and posting videos on social networking sites.
Police say this sentence serves as a warning to others who would compound a family's grief. It's a clear message. You are not anonymous. Ben Moore, BBC South Today, Reading.
No, I find that I find that very interesting because that sounds like somebody Gman tends to platform.
It certainly
sounds
does.
an awful lot like fucking Vaughn, who likes to shit on the corpses of dead children because he's a Sandy Hook denier.
Yeah. Well, I was going to point out a couple things, and this will get into what Gman says about it. You'll notice the kid got 18 weeks. He pled guilty to 3 charges, and there's some discussion online about whether or not what he did was actually a crime, but he pled guilty, so it was never actually adjudicated. But 18 weeks and a 5-year ban from the internet, which I don't know how they would enforce that, but 18 weeks in jail. Not a big sentence, right? Certainly not a life destroyer. Let's go back to Gman and hear his report on what this was all about.
You understand? Every last comment, every last thing that is said on her streams, I got them. I got all of them. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not just her. You've done it to me too. You quite a few people here on the internet. So just keep in mind, you are being watched by a lot of people. And this playtime's over on here. I'm getting serious on here.
He would basically contact the family. He created a website, and in the website he wrote, "I fell asleep on the track, lols." Like laughing out loud.
And he just would mock the dead and mock the people that were.
These are the kind of things that Burnt Toast does. I'm not saying that Burnt Toast mocks the dead or anything like that, but she does this stuff to harm people with the intent of harming people.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with him.
I mean, how is he going to compare Burnt Toast making a rap video, or not a rap video, like a music video of Gman using his own words and stuff like that, to somebody going and saying like, "LOL, you died on a train track." Like,
right?
How is that even comparable?
And plus, we never in this community go after people that commit suicide or encourage that sort of thing. Or in fact, if it comes up, 95% of us are going to say, "Man, don't go there. It's too far."
You mean the same way that Gman does with Jade?
Right.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And Rev's late mother saying he was going to pee on her grave, but he got the nerve to sit here talking about people mocking dead people. I've only seen him do that.
Or, Vaughn talking about Southern Raven who killed herself.
Yep.
Contributing that to his gods took her out. No, she was a very troubled woman who, she did a very horrible thing to herself.
And Shani, who talked about the Geek Room's friend who died as well.
I think he's looking at the wrong community here.
It's almost like it's a bunch of projection.
Yep.
And bullshit as always.
Yep.
And it's not just her. I'm not going to name the other people. It should be painstakingly obvious by now who they are, who think they're invincible because they're behind their computer screen. And I'm also learning in detail that in some countries, Turks can play it again.
To the families, and it's like unacceptable and mean, and it's one of the sort of danger.
Mental illness. He has Asperger's, and he doesn't realize how he's harming other people. And the whole question comes up of whether or not government agencies should investigate these people and really pursue prosecuting these people and put them away in jail. And even though I think what he did was horrible, right? I don't know if this is the right way to go.
Well, I mean,
of course you don't, because you're one yourself.
Because if listen, I agree with you, and I don't know enough about Asperger's, and I don't know about his mental state, or I don't know anything. But if you are going to go down the road of investigating improprieties online and in these social websites, this seems like one that you would take to task. It is free speech.
Yeah,
I wish Becca was here. I really wish Becca was here. You want to know why? Because of Black Lives Matters and everybody being sensitive these days, this is where we're going. This is where we're headed. And trust me, they're going to pay attention to what's going on here on the internet. The more and more we see people having breakdowns, the more and more we see people's lives and families being destroyed because of internet trolling, the government's going to take an interest. And I'm telling you, the internet doesn't forget, and we have all of your stuff. And I mean all of you. I'm not just talking about the 2 or 3 of you. I mean all of you.
See, this is where the video it gets very odd, because this is where he talks about how the Constitution is going bye-bye, which I don't know if he's trying to say that the kingdom of God, there's not going to be the Constitution anymore, or if he wants the Constitution to be abolished or some. I get very confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his point is about Black Lives Matter creating this social climate where this is where we're going. What we're noticing people, really bullying, dead children. Is that where we're going? Is that a bad thing? I didn't really understand that comment at all. People are being overly sensitive. Okay.
I mean, I think Shani's overly sensitive, and Gman, and Rev, and Vaughn,
Right. But I don't think that has anything to do with BLM or the social climate we're living in. I think.
Well, we know that Gman doesn't. Gman is first to be, so outraged with Black Eye TV and the whole uses of words, whatever. But when it comes to Black Lives Matter, he doesn't give it the time to actually read what it's about. He just thinks it's like this group of people who just want to cause terror, and that's not it. Like,
yeah, bizarre.
Well, I mean, he had done a community post a while back where he's talking about how some liberal governor had spoken with the head of Black Lives Matter. There is no head of Black Lives Matter. It's decentralized.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people's grief with him is they don't like an organization that it has no it's basically come one come all and do as thou will, and you can just claim BLM.
Very odd.
There is the whole free speech issue. There's also, there are not limits to free speech, but there are limits to decency, and these sites are not set up to be sort of reservoirs of indecency and reservoirs of cruelty.
The thing is, this isn't if you do want to pursue these people, it's not a small task. I mean, you go online and you see trolls all over the place. So do we really want government agencies spending all of their time finding these people?
Yes, we do.
Prosecuting them and then locking them up, and then we use our resources to lock them up. Look, what he did was horrible, okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
see, this is the typical atheist response. You know what I mean? Listen, I like my trolling and I want to continue to do it. Let me discourage you by telling you and trying to remind you of all of the hard work you're going to have to put in order to get justice for yourself. Let me tell you something, guys. There is nothing wrong with a little bit of elbow grease. I'm learning this right now. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of hard work. You'd be surprised what you can get accomplished when you actually do a little bit of work to do what it is that you need to get done. And you start ignoring the problem, and you start ignoring talking to them, and you start taking action to deal with them.
See, and this is the other part that confused me is that I'm assuming he's watching a Young Turks video, because I think the woman on the screen, she sounds like the woman from the Young Turks.
Yeah, it is.
She keeps on calling her an atheist. I don't know if he fully understands who the Young Turks are. I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of the Young Turks, but I'm pretty sure at least 3 of them are Muslim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not a group of atheists. They're a group of fairly far left wing social warrior kind of things, which is fine. They have their platform, but there's nothing atheist about the Young Turks, either expressly or even implied. It's just not. But let's see what he says.
Play the debate.
I mean, this, in my opinion, is on the same level as the Westboro Baptist Church. Go to the funerals and, these ridiculous protests, right? Protests, as they call them. But I just don't know if this makes sense, But I do think that this particular case sends out a message to people who are online, who think that they can say whatever they want and get away with it. You think that the FBI or the CIA or a government agency wouldn't be able to find you, but it turns out that they can't.
I'm actually.
You have no idea
what happened to this guy.
You have
I don't
no
know
idea
if he has Asperger's or not. Let's say he doesn't. Let's say he's just a malicious, mean person. I don't think that's a crime. I think it's a free speech issue. And I don't think the government can criminalize that. I mean, it's very effective.
Okay. Now, being mean and everything, right? For the Christians that are watching this, you're standing outside and you're speaking against LGBTQ. Should I have the right to do that? To stand outside and preach the gospel? How about this?
Yeah, absolutely. You should have the right to do that.
And I'll go one step further. Does the Westboro Baptist Church have the right to do what they do? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Does Steven Anderson have the right to do what he does? Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, it's a measure of where do you cross the line, and dead children. That's pretty rough, but I don't know if it rises to the level of a crime. And there's been a lot of debate online about this particular case. Anyway.
Free speech can't be touched. How about we bring prayer back into school? How about the president can mention God and involve God into our politics? I mean, we're going to talk about free speech, then let's talk about free speech then.
That's not free speech.
Honestly, though,
you know what I mean? These hypocrites on
Gman acts like there's no Christian schools or Catholic schools, because I think he said something about this before about how we should bring the Bible. Or maybe it was Shanny. But someone said we need to bring the Bible back into schools, and I'm like, not everybody is Christian. So
Yeah.
Why would we be teaching the Bible to people that aren't Christian?
The Bible is alive and well in schools on an individual basis, and you can have prayer groups after school in their facility. What you cannot have is school-sponsored religious events. Gosh, where's Vaughn when we need him? Where's the constitutionalists? Because this is specifically spelled out in the Constitution.
Well, yeah, according with Vaughn, he remembers back in the day when, you know, they taught prayer in school, you know, back in the 60s, because, you know, he was 4. And once they took, you know, prayer out of school, that was when, you know, all the bad things started happening. No, that's not how it was, Vaughn. And
yeah, we live in an information age, and now you just see it more.
Yeah, and when I hear Vaughn like talk about how he wants, you know, God back in school, that's very odd coming from a pagan.
Yeah,
so,
his God?
Like, do you want all gods in school? Because I wouldn't be like, I would not be opposed to having a theology class as an elective. I think that actually would be a good idea. But if it's specifically, you know, the Christian God, that causes a lot of turbulence.
Yeah. Interesting.
For the young Turks, they're trying to protect their interests. At the end of the day, I know a time is coming where the federal government is going to get involved with what we see going on social media, and a lot of people are going to what's coming. And only dum-dums that ain't paying attention to the real world is going to be surprised by it.
Offensive speech, but that is.
I love how he uses the term dum-dum, because that's right out of Brett Keane.
Yep, right out of Brett. And going back a little bit, I wonder if Gman supports Westboro. I kind of wonder.
I've heard him say in the past that he doesn't, but I've never heard him say anything bad about an IFB.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at it, Westboro is very biblical.
Yes,
everything they say is biblical. He just doesn't like it.
Well, the funny thing about NIFB is I was in one of his streams once, and he asked me, you know, he was asking the panel, like, can you find one Christian that does not agree with, you know, the positions I hold? And I brought up Steven Anderson, because if I'm not mistaken, Steven Anderson, he does hold the idea of once saved, always saved.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that Gman completely disagrees with.
Yeah. He'll just say you were never saved in the first place.
Well, when I brought that up, all he said was, "Well, Steven Anderson is a pastor, so I'll stand behind him." Like, well, you didn't answer my question.
I mean, there's no
Constitution is going bye-bye. I'm telling you that now.
And I mean, I think your comparison is spot on, Anna. The Westboro Baptist Church. I mean, that's as bad as it gets. I mean, they're going to people's funerals and doing it. That's free speech. That's how they can do it. I mean, I hate the KKK.
Okay, so now all of this and the atheists are saying that the Westboro Baptist Church has the right to go to a soldier's funeral and say the things that they're saying. Now all of a sudden it's okay. But when this video is over, we'll see 500 different videos out there with the atheist community talking about how no one should be out there doing something like that. We should make laws against this.
No,
nobody here is going to say that.
He always blames everything on atheists. You do know there's religious people who think that the Westboro Baptist Church are scumbags.
Mm-hmm.
But that they should be allowed to do what they do. And that's fairly universal.
Come on.
Well, it's the funny way of how he puts it. Like, you know, someone having the right to do something is not the same thing as saying it's okay for someone to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you actually look at the groups that are petitioning for laws against that sort of thing, defamation, they're not atheist groups.
Right.
I mean, the leader of Westboro was able to actually get legislation passed about, you know, people like coming after him on social media. Yeah. Fred Phelps, he was able to get legislation passed about, like, I can't remember what it's called, but like people were, you know, going hard on him on Facebook because he's just the biggest piece of shit on Facebook as he is in real life.
Yeah.
You see the hypocrisy that's going on there. All right, so let's continue to play this.
KK and the neo-Nazis, but they have every right to protest and walk down the street and say what they want to say.
So anyway, that was the first video. You can go to, you can be locked up. You can be locked up for internet trolling, depending how far you go with it. So get this nonsense out your head about you can do it and then you're protected on the internet. No, you're not. I don't care what your Mr. Rogers neighborhood lawyer has to say. Once it harms another family to the point that they suffer financial loss, mental anguish, you are in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? If that person chooses to lawyer up and go after you. The problem with our community here today is that people who have lawyers don't want to use them.
Sorry. Okay. That goes right back to the case we were just talking about, the 25-year-old posting on dead children's sites. He pled guilty to 3 counts of posting defamatory language. It's not even likely that he actually would have been convicted had he not pled guilty. Even in the UK, which has much stronger internet patrolling kind of laws than we do. I found that interesting. He went right to, you can be locked up. Well, there's some question about whether you can be locked up.
You know what I mean? So the consequences for internet trolling can be you can get blocked from somebody's YouTube channel. You can be ignored when you're leaving comments in the live thread. You can be ignored or even be flagged as spam in somebody's YouTube comment section, which happens a lot on my channels. Because I got keywords you're not allowed to use. And when you do, nobody will see your comments. So even right now, my channel is on approval only now. You know what I mean? When I go back, when I feel like it, I'll go back and I'll actually pick the comments that I want to actually be seen on my YouTube channel. You understand what I'm saying? I believe in freedom of speech, but I believe in limited freedom of speech. Just like it's going to be in the kingdom of God when we stand before Almighty God. So what's wrong with these people, ladies and gents? What's wrong with these trolls? Is there something mentally wrong with these people? That's going to be the next thing that we're going to look at. I could have actually read an article, but there is a psychology to what it is that these people are doing. And I think a lot of you are going to find this interesting. That a lot of the people that are spending hours, literally hours of their day trolling people on the internet suffer from a mental illness. Okay. And I think we need to pity these people a little bit, because when I start talking to them and giving my hangouts, you're going to see a very big difference with how I talk to them. I'm going to bring some medication to my rooms. I'm going to use some psychology to them because I know they're not right in their heads. You know what I mean? So let me play this video. I think a lot of you will find this interesting. This video is called Are Internet Trolls Psychopathic?
Okay, I'm going to scrub forward about 30 minutes here so we have a chance to finish the video. Basically, this whole video he plays, or he plays the audio from it, he just reacts a little bit. There's not a lot of great material there. He's like, see, this is what atheists do, blah, blah, blah. You know the routine, but it's an hour and a half video, so I'm going to scrub it a little bit so we get past that. I did find it interesting. He said he was going to start bringing medications when he talks to atheists.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he thinks he can dispense them online or how exactly that's going to work, but it was kind of funny. All right, about 53.
It's interesting that now Gman feels the need to be able to diagnose people, but when people were doing that to Shani and Rev, that was a problem. But it's okay when they do it. Interesting.
Well, we're about to get to Shani and Rev specifically, so let's move on.
Of other people. So now I want you to think about that a minute. Now, the reason why I think a lot of them come after me because they can't deal with the level of confidence that I display on here. You know, just because I'm not making $100 an hour, you know what I mean? I'm not a CEO of a Fortune 500 company doesn't mean I shouldn't look at myself as being valuable. You know what I mean? I don't feel the need to constantly get on here and talk about my personal accomplishments. You'll notice to this very day, I don't talk about them because it's none of nobody's business.
No, Gary, it's because you have none. You don't have any personal accomplishments worth talking about.
And he downplays my husband's accomplishment. Backstory on that: when my husband was going to school, they were like, oh, okay, all right. Because they were thinking, oh, yeah, he's going to school, but he's not going to make it. He's going to drop out because they all dropped out and couldn't even make it through college. But when my husband actually accomplished it, now they're feeling some type of way. Yeah. That's where this all comes down to. So it's just a lot of petty and jealousy on their end.
Yeah, it's a lot of projection.
I don't need a bunch of God haters telling me, oh, you're such a wonderful person, Gman. I have the Holy Spirit telling me and reminding me about what I am and who I am all the time. If I sin and I mess up, I need to repent. If I'm doing well, my Lord and my Savior will remind me of all of the wonderful things that is waiting for me. I don't need to have a non-believer walking around here telling me how great I am, or having a troll tell me how great I am. Nor do I feel the need to have to constantly get on here and talk about my accomplishments, because it's none of nobody's business. But when you hear somebody get on here putting other people down and then trying to talk about how great they are, you know you're listening to somebody that's got issues.
Yeah, I don't hear that often. He likes to point at Drag, and Drag thinks he's better than everybody else, or he'll say Matt Dillahunty says he knows the Bible better than anybody else, but you don't see it.
Who has more subscribers, though?
Drag is just an asshole. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a damn lazy bum, overweight, lazy something, liar. There we go.
Coward.
Overweight coward.
Coward.
Yep. Hi, Elsie. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Shirts.
I'm awesome. We're listening to Gman Education.
Yeah, looking at this noodle.
That covers personality factors. Are there any other non-personality factors that would predict internet trolling? Well, interestingly, there are. The motivation to cause social mayhem, what we call negative social potency, is strongly associated with internet trolling. Now, in terms of gender, we see a lot of studies that say more men are involved in internet trolling than women, but this has been disputed by some other research. So it may be closer to 50-50, but we need more research on this. We really don't know about the gender makeup with internet trolling quite yet. So the bottom line with internet trolling, we see psychopathy, sadism, grandiose narcissism, and Machiavellianism. Another important point would be the internet troll enjoys the behavior, right? So this is a person who enjoys what they're doing. And this reminds me of a quote from...
Now, before he gets to the quote, let me explain this to you, because I said this earlier in the video. Again, I hope Shandy's going to review this later. They'll do this behind a computer screen. To date, I've met at least 15 different YouTubers since I've been on YouTube. I've met about 15 to 20 different YouTubers. None of them have disrespected to my face. None of them. All of them have disrespected me behind the well, yeah, I would say all of them. All of them at some point or another has gotten in my grill behind the computer screen.
One more time, Jules.
I said that's not what that handshake from Drag said to me.
Yeah, it was kind of disrespectful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How you doing, little man? Yeah. One wonders.
As a matter of fact, that's not true. One of them, only one of them, has gotten in my face to face, in person, and really got on my case about some things, and that is Evangelist Ken. And he did it in my own apartment. And Evangelist Ken has permission to do it again and again and again and again. Notice I said permission to do this again. And you want to know why? Because I know where Ken's coming from. I know he loves me. I know he cares about me. And I know he wants my best for me. So he has permission to speak his mind when he's talking to me.
I mean, granted,
has permission.
If Angry Ken Jones was like yelling at me, I'm probably going to listen to him. Because he's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a very big dude.
But it's very difficult not to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just thought it was funny when he was about to say, and Becco has my permission. And it's like, no, he didn't have your permission 2 weeks ago, G-Man, so stop it.
Very good point. Good
exactly.
Catch. Great catch.
Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Oh, my.
Do that. The troll does not, because the troll hasn't demonstrated they care about anybody other than themselves. They don't have no empathy. They don't know how to use sympathy. They don't even know how to spell love, none less actually practice it with other people.
From
Not
this
even their own fellow
motherfucker.
atheists.
That's rich.
Yeah. Empathy, sympathy, and love. Yeah, don't see those qualities coming from that way.
Yeah, that's something that kills me. Like whenever he brings up empathy, like I consider myself to be a fairly empathetic person, but not towards everybody.
No.
There are a lot of people that I know that they don't get a lot of empathy from me because they've made their bed.
Exactly.
Yep. I got 2 words for G-Man. Sledgehammer.
Yes,
there we go.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Told you. You're gonna say sub to this channel. You're gonna hear about yourself on this channel. Don't really care if you don't like it.
A movie
I told you to watch something
I
else.
rather liked called The Dark Knight. It had Christian Bale and Michael Caine. And Michael Caine played a character named Alfred. This is somebody who helped Batman, of course, the main character in the movie. And we see this quote delivered from Alfred to Batman. Some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Oh, direct shot fired. Just want to watch the world burn. Who do we hear that from?
That kind of sounds like
on.
G-Man. That kind of sounds like G-Man.
Look at the look on his face, the look of recognition.
He was so shook. He had a bit of self-awareness there for like 2 seconds.
Let's see what he says. Oh, shit.
Have a non-believer walking around your mind when he's talking to me. To take what they're thinking and take their opinions, to take what they're thinking and take their opinions, and to get away as far away from you as humanly possible. Like with me personally, I don't live my life to try to please other people. That's not me. That's never going to be me. I try to live my life to please God, to please Christ, but to please another human being who's going to stab me in the back and disappoint me? No, not going to happen.
Again, the self projection.
So this is leading up to a part of this video that I found absolutely just golden.
Yep.
When he talks about, like, if you talk to Shani like that, what's Shani gonna do? She's gonna bust you in the face.
Yeah. He offered us $500 to say what we say on here to Shani's face, and I would. And guess what? Shani wouldn't move fast enough to punch me in the face because her arms weigh 100 pounds each.
Yeah. She'd be like the Gorn from that episode of Star Trek.
And Shani, and you can see in the, because I think Todd saw me in the comments with my multiple soccer accounts. You could see Shani gets excited about violence. Like, she wants to hurt people. Like, I would never want to physically
she's
harm
just a
Shani.
naturally aggressive, violent person.
Yep. Well, let's get to that.
Not gonna happen. So if somebody says something to you and they come into your personal space, or they come on your YouTube platform and they say something that upsets you and you don't like, don't get mad and don't get upset. It's your platform. Simply hit the block button and do not unblock them. Give them a lesson they will soon never forget. Let them beg you to unblock you, and then don't do it. Oh, trust me, there are several YouTubers still begging to be unblocked that ain't getting unblocked. And I'm referring to those in the atheist community. The only reason certain Christians hasn't been unblocked because my lazy behind won't get on the settings here and unblock them. But as far as like
because that takes a lot of time.
Reminds me, I need to unblock one that's rocking.
What? G-Man a minute to being lazy? Oh my god.
There are some other people on here who, when they get blocked, they need to stay that way.
But then you'll call someone a coward for not making a sock account to come into your stream.
Exactly.
That's exactly. Yep.
My goodness.
But their mom and dad didn't teach them that you're not going to get away with everything.
And internet trolls. What they want is really enjoyment. Again, they can't be reasoned with. They don't want money. Actually, being an internet troll is being somebody who's wasting their own time, right? It's not a good use of time. They just do it purely for enjoyment. It doesn't serve any other practical purpose. So again, some men just want to watch the world burn. Now, whenever I talk about internet trolling, psychopathy, narcissism, these constructs, I know there are going to be a variety of opinions. If you agree or disagree with me or have other opinions, please put those in the comments. That always generates.
Now that's one video. I got one more video, and we're going to talk about the psychology of trolling. This one is only about 4 minutes long. It's a news report talking about internet trolling and what people really think about these people. And again, nobody's saying anything positive about them because there's nothing positive to say about these people. There really isn't.
Most annoying people online.
Internet trolls
are people working in cyberspace who launch attacks. The internet is an incredible tool, but like most tools, it can be used as a weapon.
Don't listen to trolls, and for God's sake, don't become one.
I think that what we really need to focus on is what the trends and research are showing of why people are doing this. And that's the only way to really start addressing internet trolling. So my name or title is Dr. Avita March. My research is in cyber psychology. So in 2017, we were initially interested in the dark tetrad and empathy and gender predicting trolling. Now, the dark tetrad is made up of 4 traits. So the first trait is narcissism. The second trait is sadism. The third trait is Machiavellianism. And the fourth trait is trait psychopathy. And I should note that these are considered non-clinical and that everyone has some level of these traits. We confirmed previous research that had found...
Now, I know Revelation News is watching this. Rev, we know what they're up to moving forward. But again, all of it is done for 2 reasons. To feed their own disgusting egos, okay? And number 2, to trigger you and to trigger your wife. That is the entire entirety of why they're going to do it.
I'd like to say something about this part. So this is when I was in the comments, and I actually commented only because Shani said she said I studied in psychology, and I'm like, you didn't even graduate high school. Stop putting out lies. I'm gonna correct you. You did not study psychology. You know nothing about it. So and then Rev blocked me, and his response was, Jules is psychotic.
Psychotic, yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's too bad he doesn't allow his chat to be.
I know. I wish.
Nice, but
If he did, he'd probably get a bloody backhander.
yeah.
I mean, Shani and them were deleting comments left and right. So
yeah, they wouldn't show up anyway. That's right.
Yeah, the ban hammer came down pretty hard during that stream.
Yeah, and by the end, he had no. It's funny because he asked a question. Anybody have any questions in the live stream? I'm like, the only people there are
everybody's
Shani.
blocked.
Maybe Robert Blair. That's it. No questions.
Well, see, this is something that this was something that me and Alex had talked about a while back. Is if this is my personal opinion, Alex kind of agreed with me when I said that if your block list is larger than your subscription list, you shouldn't be allowed to live stream.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you're honestly not that interested in having an audience. So what's the point in you live streaming? Just make videos.
I think he does it for the reviews of his videos. I think just like this one. I think it gives him a big old Woody.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe they subscribe to the view that any attention's good attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true with them.
And the persecution complex, of course, feeds into it too. You know,
they love being the victim.
Yeah.
All the time. They
Certainly.
never take responsibility for anything. It's everybody else's fault.
Yep.
And Gman is pushing 50.
Okay, and that's another thing. He's 2 years older than my current partner. What the fuck? If my boyfriend carried on like this, holy shit.
Don't give them what they want. I think what would really get on their nerves if they did all of that and you just said, dun, 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 dun. You know, Shannon, I'm going to kick your butt today, Shannon, in Mario 3. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my God.
Both of you whoop Bowser's butt on that day and just don't care. You know?
Mind of a 13-year-old boy.
Individuals with higher level of sadism and psychopathy were more likely to perpetrate trolling. We also found that, also confirming previous research, men were more likely than women to perpetrate trolling. When it came to empathy, we found some really interesting results. Individuals more likely to troll actually had higher levels of cognitive empathy. So cognitive empathy is a more analytical form of empathy. So it's the ability to predict and explain and understand another person's emotions and experience. It's not that they don't understand what they're saying. They actually really understand what they're saying, and they're really good at predicting what they're going to say that will hurt you.
We have a very unique leader, whether you love him or hate him. Our president goes on Twitter and trolls people. I think he's what they call trolling. His goal was to troll the press. Trump is the world's biggest troll. Everybody falls for it every day.
Trolling has really become prevalent, I guess, in the media over the past 5 years, but it does have a longer history of being researched. Some of the initial definitions took the term from the fishing term trolling, basically putting a baited line out there and just seeing what you could drag in. So it was a more light-hearted behaviour. They were the trickster. They get off the internet.
The trickster. I want you to think about that a minute. I would use a different word. It's called deceiver, because what they're doing is they're putting false information out there about people, and it is causing people to react based on that false information. And, you know, I sat down and I thought about that for a moment. There are people out there that believe I live in a cardboard box. Sheetrock, I don't know. But there are some people out there that believe that I'm begging for money on the street because I'm not working. Some people believe I live with my sister.
You do.
There are some people who believe that, you know,
Who
I
has said that he lives
I
with his
give her a
sister?
roofie or something like that. There's a lot of
No, lots of people, because he does.
I mean, if you live with your sister, whatever, like, just own it. Like, when people say, "Oh, you live in a box," like, do you really sit there and like, "Oh my God, they're being so serious"? Of course, you don't live in
Right.
a box.
He doesn't know sarcasm at all.
No, it's like people live with
Same
their
like he doesn't
family
know what
all the
air quotes
time.
are either.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't put quotation marks around every single word you say?
That's not how quotation marks work. Oh my.
are saying. Now, I sat down and I thought about this for a moment, and I was like, they don't seem to really know anything. So how about I just let them just say what they want, and then if somebody wants to come to me,
See,
and
this is how I
ask me
know
about
that
it,
story's
I'll just
bullshit. This is how I know that story's bullshit, G-Man. You don't think.
I just let them say what they want. No, he never reacts.
No, not at all.
Never.
say 2
Sledgehammer.
words to them and shut them up. And that's what I've been doing. And what I say when they come in my room is this: prove it. I stole a safe. Oh, prove it. Okay, so G-Man, what did you? You're not getting no help from me. You said that you knew this. That's a knowledge claim. Prove it.
It's on your
Conversation
channel.
over.
I stole $3,000.
I did that with Lubis, destroyed him. I did that with so many other people on here. It's not even funny. I can say prove it. If somebody says prove it to me, when I say things, I'm going to back it up with something. And remember, I told all of you.
Wow. He backs it up with things.
I don't think I've ever seen G-Man bring any kind of receipts on anything he said. Like he was saying that drag beats me. Shanny and Rev were saying drag beats me. I'm still waiting on the receipts on that.
Prove it.
There's a few things they've said.
Yep.
So, you know.
That's fucking outrageous.
Well, I mean, even Rev went as far as saying like, well, I think Shanny said too, is that drag rapes you, and I'm like,
Yep.
those statements right there are obviously false, but they can ruin somebody's life. When we say stuff about Shanny and Rev, it's stuff that they have put out from their own mouths. We did not just go looking for this.
Right.
They said it to us.
Yeah, false rape allegations. That's some serious shit.
Well,
viewing their videos and they get mad about it.
Keep in mind that, you know, obviously Shanny doesn't intentionally hurt anyone because she was found innocent in a court of law, because that's a fucking ruling.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
you're
she's guilty.
I don't know how you can, be found innocent when you plead guilty to the fucking charge.
She's an idiot. She just doesn't get that her parole ended and her sentence basically was done.
Yep. There was a YouTuber on here who even promoted that Shanny should commit suicide. And I'm going to show everybody who this person is very shortly.
He won't. He'll play the audio.
Because you people are going way too far with the things that you guys are doing. Because you think you're invincible. If the atheist community or these trolls,
99 out of 100 people in our community would never tell anyone to commit suicide.
Exactly.
And would rebuke anyone who said that harshly. Harshly.
Was a country, and you was about to go to war with the United States or a country. Let's say you had nuclear capabilities, and we had to work with your intelligence in order to defend your country would be defeated in 2 minutes because you ain't got no intelligence. You don't know nothing about the people that you're attacking. You really don't.
What the fuck was that analogy?
Okay. The world. Not even funny. I think you're going to get, but it's an instant win. I think they should be forced to go see a doctor. Because they're not right up here. That's why I'm going to start taking a step back because they start claiming that. And they say, Gman's attacking my mental illness. And I'm going to make sure that they can't say I'm doing that because I don't want to get in trouble. So these people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. On here. They really are.
And so another way of starting to manage and prevent the behavior is treating trolling like an addiction and treat it the way we treat other addictive behaviors.
Right.
It's only through building that kind of profile of who the internet troll is what
the only way you're going to heal an internet troll is to give them some self-esteem. The moment you give an internet troll some self-esteem and give them a purpose in their life, they'll stop trolling.
Going to lead us into actually then say, well, if we know that the internet troll is.
Yeah. You have to get some self-esteem.
Gee, logic, folks.
Wow. Wonder how we do that.
Is X, then we know that X is usually treated with Y. And that's really the only way that we'll be able to understand, manage, prevent behaviors.
Right. If we help Broke Nut Silvers get a job, maybe he won't have the time to do what he's doing. You know what I mean? So let's go to the main event here.
Oh,
shots fired.
Damn.
Video.
Got
that
him.
was done by a YouTuber on here concerning, it's going to get me in a little bit of trouble, but you want to know what? I really don't care because this comment should have never been made. So I'm going to find it here. And by the way, this is done by somebody who is not necessarily, well, actually, I'll let everybody hear it. I'll put it to you that way. And then you'll know what I'm talking about. Let me find it.
By the way, I have no idea who this is.
Yeah, neither do I.
I didn't watch this. This is going to be my first time hearing it.
Yep, I think I found the video. The video is called Shanny for Christ. It's about 2 minutes and 17 minutes long. Let's see if this is it. And I want y'all to hear this come out of her own mouth.
So I just recently heard Shanny for herself has talked about or said things about suicide again.
Oh, that's Miss
honey, why don't you
Star.
go ahead and kill yourself?
Yeah. That's Ms. Star.
The world might be a better place without you. Pretty damn sure it would be. Because obviously you really don't care about nothing but just.
Okay, so I'm going to rewind this and let you hear this
Sorry,
again.
don't give up.
Again, this is
Don't
taking
give up.
internet trolling too long, and this is when this becomes quite illegal.
Recently heard Shanny for herself has talked about or said things about suicide again. Well, honey, why don't you go ahead and kill yourself? The world might be a better place without you.
Now, why am I playing this? And why did I play it twice? Because here's the thing, ladies and gents. Some of you hate so much. Some of you have so much Satanism in you. Some of you have Lucifer so much
by the
into
way,
your
plot
DNA.
twist for people who don't know who Miss Star is.
No idea.
She's a Christian.
Oh no!
So, G-Man, this argument you have about atheists saying crazy stuff is not really working right now, dude. Just want to say that. Continue on.
How long ago is that? Anybody know?
I really don't even remember that video, but Miss Star and Shani are oil and water. They've never really got along. It's kind of the same thing with Sabella and Shani. Up and down, up and down. Miss Star and Gman at this time, they were kind of going back and forth, and then they would forgive each other, and then he'll go back to the Shani bandwagon, and she gets mad again. So it probably was around the same time where when Shani gave Gman that home, if I could guess.
I think it might be earlier than that, but I might be wrong.
I think it's been a while.
Okay.
I tried to find it and had no luck.
Now, yeah, Ms.
She
Star.
removed stuff too.
Yeah. Ms. Star is the person that Rev is addressing when he made that first video, like, I've got a guy that can find your information.
Okay.
Stop talking about my wife.
Oh yeah, it's probably about that time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he already said this is illegal behavior. Let's see what else he has to say about particular kind of trolling.
Well, like on this same topic before you restart. Granted, like I've said some pretty parallel things on that nature in regards to someone like Emo, because like Emo is just he's a sad sack of shit.
Yeah.
And like when he does a fucking 8-hour fucking stream where he's fucking nodding off because he's so shit faced, where there's absolutely no content, and then when he wakes up he's talking about how he wants to kill himself. I'm like, I've reached a point where either shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
If you're that fucking depressed because no one wants to come on your fucking panel and talk about things because I'm fucking falling asleep, if you're that suicidal, fucking do it.
Yeah, which is a parallel to Shani, because we get the crocodile tears and the look what you made me do stuff. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. Somebody might say, doggone it, you talk about it so much, just do it. Maybe it'd be a better play. But let's see if he said illegal. Let's see what else he says.
That you have no empathy, you have no love, you have no kindness, you have nothing in you that would be remorselessly considered a good trait that would make you say something like that.
Remorselessly.
Yeah, he doesn't know words. Okay, so we know G-Man thinks that's illegal, and no remorse and no empathy. Let's see some other people that have said similar kind of things, shall we?
Ooh, look at Todd coming through with receipts.
Yeah, you got to start it, though.
These are the most demonic sacks of hay about us.
Sorry, I moved it.
Guys, do you enjoy listening to these piece of shit fucking faggots?
Ooh.
Like, are you enjoying listening to this? Are you liking hearing these people? Yeah, if you get pulled over, tell them it's heartburn. Yeah, that's
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
There we go. Now you can hear these faggots.
In Minecraft?
Are you hearing these faggots? These pieces of shit?
Like Faith did.
Are you enjoying hearing these total sacks of shit online? Do you see these fucking faggots? Do you enjoy hearing these fucking moron fucking faggots?
That's because you're drunk, Rev.
No, I'm not drunk. I'm actually sober, you stupid
That's the
fucking
smell of
cunt.
Shanny that's making you want to
You
vomit.
should fucking die, all of you, because you're useless sacks of garbage that harass people.
I have no idea who told Rev that he was drunk.
Fucking faggot to death. I hope all of you that enjoy this show get cancer and die. You should be dead, all of you.
So, illegal behavior. Yeah, that's it. Oh, wait, there's more. But wait, there's
more.
Who else has done this sort of behavior? Let's see.
There is no reason a woman should be sexually harassed. No reason. And your little excuse that it's critique is bullshit. It's sexual harassment. Because it's unwanted, inappropriate sexual remarks. You loser. You pig of a man. I hope Jesus Christ strikes you down. Amen.
Amen. Hope Jesus Christ strikes you down. Never mentioned by Gman. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I
What a
remember the
ray
first.
of sunshine.
I remember the first time I got told to eat shit and kill myself by Shani.
Oh, just wait. In this video we're watching of G-Man, Sister Jewel decided to show up.
Oh, I saw that.
Here it comes. That is taking it too far. And by the way, that's just one YouTube channel. I can go to Deidre's channel, Broke Nut channel, The Geek Room, Toast, and a whole bunch of other people on here who have gone too far. And, you know, I promise you this. Normally, I would say they would never say this to my face. None of these people would say that to Shani's face. Matter of fact, you know what? I got $100. No, I got $500. That says that none of these people will go to Shani for Christ in person and say that to her face. You want to know why? Because if you do, your nose is going to be bleeding and you're going to be on the ground out conscious. Shani's going to knock you out.
I wish Shani would knock me out. I really wish she would.
You know what I mean?
But they don't support violence, folks.
No, not at all.
Behavior.
Shani's not violent at all. She's a complete pacifist.
She's the victim here, folks. Just remember.
Calm as
She
Hindu
learned from
cattle.
her ways. She did not just throw a controller at Rev 2 weeks ago. That did not happen.
I want to see the apology video from Rev saying I should have called it.
Cold. That's why they're doing it behind the computer screen. G-Man, you don't know what you're talking about. I would say, oh, you would? Go buy a plane ticket to Japan. Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
Oh my God.
Go buy a plane ticket to Japan and go fly over there and go meet with her. And then make sure you get it on camera. And then tell me about your nose looking like this from now on, because she's going to break it if you say that to her face.
Shots fired.
Here I come.
Japan.
The real lesson is that YouTube lets all of this happen and nothing is done. You're right about that, Revelation News. Now, listen to me very carefully here, because I can't tell you a whole lot on air. All right. What you need to do is whenever you're flagging a comment, that's why it's not always good to hide their comments.
Hey, here's Brett Keane watching
emotional
again.
response. Flag their comments as spam and see if YouTube does anything about it. That's number one. Copy their messages that they're leaving. See if you, and then report it to YouTube and then see if they do anything about it. Right? And then report the videos to YouTube and see if they do anything about it. If none of that works, you got a case, and they're hurting you financially, and you can prove this. Nate Brody has a really good video on his YouTube channel talking about suing somebody for defamation of character. I'll give him credit for that. He has a really good video on his channel, and he talks about it. You've got to be able to prove in a court of law that they're hurting you financially. Like, for example, when Dummy took your copywritten work and read it on your YouTube channel. If that hurt your book sales.
Oh my God.
Because I was just about to, maybe I just said the pause too soon. I was just trying to figure out what is exactly G-Man talking about that Shani and Rev are getting hurt financially on YouTube. Like, can someone please help me to help me understand this logic and what they're talking about? And also, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Another question I have. What happened to that suing Google, G-Man, Rev, Shani? What happened to that? Crickets?
Oh, he addresses it at the end of the video. He does talk about suing Google.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch the video at all. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't. Like this, I can do this, sitting back watching with other people, but just sitting here, just the same crap over and over. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I'd also like to add about he's about to start talking about Rev's stupid book. When Rev himself,
he wasn't getting money from that book.
But the thing is Rev himself was putting it on a torrent website so you can get it for free. So he would get reviews on Amazon. And I confronted Rev about this, and he tried to tell me that he did not do that, even though the fucking bio said his whole name and explained what he was doing, which is illegal. You can't do that.
And he said it on a video that I have of him talking about, if you don't want to spend, what I think it's like $15-20 for his book. He was telling people they can download it for free. He
Yeah.
mentioned that himself. And he even said he doesn't get any money from that book. So how is G-Man going to use that as an example of that affecting his business? Like
Even if he didn't do that, there's a thing called fair use, and you can read text and comment on the details of how it was written, how well it was written. It's called commentary. It's fair. It's under fair use as long as you don't use a certain percentage of the work. And we're talking per broadcast. I think Drag was doing like a half a chapter or a chapter at most per broadcast. You can fair use review stuff like that. Happens all the time. Anyway.
Or that prevented people from wanting to get your book or whatever. That you definitely have a case against him. You know what I mean? If you could prove that they're hurting your marriage or whatever in a significant way and they're harming your kids, you can take them to court because of that. But you got to be able to get the proof. Don't tell them what you're doing. Be quiet about it. Let them think one thing and do something behind closed doors or whatever, and make sure that you use that information in the court of law against them. Don't tell them what you're doing. Don't get so angry on YouTube that you're telling them because you don't want them prepared.
Don't tell them what they're doing as I'm telling you what to do. What the fuck?
Harming their kids. Everybody on here is saying don't bring the kids into it.
Exactly.
Leave the kids alone. Save them pain. Nobody's trying to hurt her kids. They're trying to give advice and get the kids the hell out of there. It's like Vaughn. To make a claim we're trying to hurt Vaughn's kids. We're trying to save Vaughn's kids from a life of misery. It's so pathetic.
Because I stopped cold turkey. I don't listen to nobody's emails if I don't know you no more. If I don't know you, I don't read your emails no more.
That's telling.
A lot of them have been flagged for spam now. And I don't read my spam part of my email. So again, most of the time when I notice that Shanny and Rev are being triggered by what the people in the live chat are saying, it's because of the live chat. If there was no live chat, they wouldn't have the foggiest idea what people are saying. Get rid of the live chat,
then Shanny wouldn't have any content.
You can put your
if there was no live chat, there'd be 8 to 10 viewers at most.
Live chat on, they can leave a comment every 2 to 5 minutes or something like that. That'll really annoy them. It might hurt your views a little bit, but at the same time, you won't have a bunch of people leaving these hateful comments because you'll catch them early and you'll be able to get rid of them. Sister Jewel says, GTV network, why is it okay for Rev to wish cancer on all of us?
Here it is.
All of us.
Mic drop.
It's not okay to tell Shanny to die. Sister Jewel, what you saw Revelation News do was a one-time event. And the reason why he did that one-time event was weeks and months and months and months of you guys constantly attacking me.
That wasn't a one-time event. He said it a few other times afterwards, and Shanny was yelling at him and telling him to shut up.
Yep. And we'd make this a 3-hour live stream if I brought more receipts, but you guys know. You guys know what's out there.
Yeah, I definitely in the comments it definitely was telling him like it wasn't, and then Shanny started arguing back with me, trying to make it about her, of course, when I didn't even say anything about Shanny. I just said a comment like people were telling Shanny to kill herself, but it's okay for Reb to tell people to kill themselves.
Right. It's illegal behavior. Illegal. Except it's not when they do it.
I believe he said that in frustration. I don't know if he really believes that, but or if he really wishes that on you. But the point of the matter is that this is months and months and months and months and years of you guys constantly coming after him. When Ms. Star did that, now the reason why I'm very disappointed in Ms. Star is because Ms. Star channel is supposed to be helping people who suffer from depression. You don't help people suffer from depression by saying stuff like that to people. You don't do that. Like she's destroying the purpose of her own. Can you imagine somebody with depression coming to her channel? You know, Miss Star's been really good for helping me with depression. And then you go there and hear, go kill yourself. What?
G-Man literally played one video. He played one video, which I'm not saying, you know, what Miss Star said was right, because I don't that whole wishing death on people and stuff. I don't think it's cool, period. But there was a lot of back and forth going on between Shanny and Miss Star at the time. Shanny was saying some mean and crazy stuff to Miss Star. Miss Star was responding back. So let's not just say that Miss Star just woke up and was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell Shanny to go kill herself.
Yeah,
That's not how it went, Gman. You know that.
And he claims it's months and months and months of people piling on, but he can't give any more receipts for that. Yeah, people say mean stuff. Say you need to get out of bed. You're a worthless tub of lard, stuff like that. Which I don't need to say that. I just think, man, it'd be a good idea if you got up and got some exercise. But even that is trolling.
Yep.
In his opinion.
Criticism.
It would have been taken down a long time ago. It's still there. It's still there. You know what I mean? So if you want to deal with the trolls, you got to stop reading this live chat. If you're going to read the live chat, look for the icons that you're familiar with and only read that, because you almost got to presuppose that the negative people are just going to be negative. Shanny, some of these people, because I watch your gaming thingies on here when I've had the time. There are some people on there that are pretending to be your friend. There are some people on there pretending to be all loving towards you and everything, but they're going to other streams saying some terrible things. I'll give you an example. This is one woman that leaves, I forget her name, but she leaves a bunch of nice comments saying they like you, they love your stuff on your streams. But then I go to some of these other streams and I'm like, wait a minute, ain't that the same person that just got finished telling Shanny she's awesome?
But he doesn't watch any of your stuff, folks.
No, he doesn't watch your stuff.
I bet you he looks that.
You know what I mean? You got a lot of fake people watching you, Shanny. So be careful with them, because all they want is your information so they can use it against you, to hurt Rev, to hurt your kids, to destroy your family. That is the whole purpose of what they're doing.
Pause for 1 second, because I think this is something that is being fed to Gman by Shanny, because there was a person a year ago that he came into the community and he was not the person that he claimed to be, and he kind of crossed the line. The wellness check that Rev and Shanny had to go through last year, that's kind of crossing the line, because even calling it a wellness check, to me, that's about one step below fucking swatting somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's 100 different ways that scenario could have played out, and about 80 of those different scenarios end very badly. After that happened, that fucker disappeared.
Yep. And I'm willing to bet most people from this community told him to cut it out. Shut it down. You're too far.
Well, see, a lot of it was that his significant other worked for the state, so they had access to actually finding out people's information.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this guy, he went back further than he tried to lead on, because he claimed that he just came into YouTube and shit like that. He had been around for a while.
Okay.
And he kind of got started when people had a bit of a tendency of using their actual powers working for the state to gather information on people.
Yeah. So
that was just a cool thing to do. But after that happened, a lot of people called him out, including people like Grampy Lobster.
Yeah, I think a lot of issue with him saying the people in there on socks, pretending like they enjoy their content, they love them. I don't think they're trying to do any harm. I think they're just trying to pass the day. This is fun. Let's poke a little bit at the beast, but they're not really doing harm by saying nice things. Come on. They're coming back in Discord and saying, "Hey, look what she did. Look what she said."
The funny thing about the person I'm talking about, the original person he had put his crosshairs on was Drag.
Ah. Interesting.
Because, he's obviously a soft target.
Yep. Well, let's see what happens here. We've got about 20 more minutes.
There's this huge campaign going on right now where they're trying to get you two to have a divorce. There's a huge campaign going on right now.
Nobody wants
that. That's the whole
that.
purpose of them doing what they're doing right now. It's taking trolling to the next level. It's up there with Ms. Star with what she said. And if you guys, like I said, if Shanny harms herself, ends up in a hospital, if their marriage ends up breaking up because of what goes on here on the internet, if I'm Revelation News, I use every resource in my ability to take these people before a judge and get them to suffer according to the maximum or whatever the penalty is going to be with the law.
Pause.
If their marriage breaks up over this, that's not much of a marriage.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, let's say that hypothetically Rev and Shani do split up. Who is G-Man going to side with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It ain't gonna be Shani.
Yeah.
Because Shani's not the payday.
It's a Shani has much less utility to G-Man than Rev would.
Yeah. Maybe I should take G-Man, Shani, and Rev to court, because not even a couple months ago, they were trying to get me and Drag to break up.
Yeah, every live stream, you need to leave.
About it. So how about you have several seats, G-Man?
Yeah, there's some
and
more.
Take a good look in the mirror, because I can't and this is why I just can't watch them for long periods of time, because it's just like I can't take them seriously. Like, it's just like, are you kidding me? You did that like 5 seconds ago. And that clip from the Geek Room that they shared with Shani having a little self-awareness with the whole, you can't blame Trump and the media for people breaking up your marriage. You already had problems in your marriage before all that. Yeah, there we go. That part. The internet's not breaking up your relationship. You have issues outside of YouTube. So just stop. Just stop it.
Yeah, I recall stream after stream after stream of her saying, Mrs. D, he abuses you. You need to leave, honey. You need to come up here, and just stream after stream. And according to G-Man's logic, you should be taking him to court for it.
Yeah, I should be taking them to court. But no one got Shani arrested. YouTube didn't get Shani arrested. That was all off of YouTube. They did that to themselves.
I recall right after her saying that trolls called the cops.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, because I'd been asking this question. Apparently, Shani is trying to claim that whole body cam footage was her getting swatted.
Yeah, she's the one that called.
She doesn't know what swatted means. It's not swatted. Yep. But okay.
Well, I
Mrs.
think
D, I
she
will
actually.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mrs. D, either like buy Drag some better shirts, or I would say leave them, because they are like, they're ass ugly.
I mean, I agree. He doesn't wear the t-shirts that I got him, which are pretty nice, Star Wars theme.
Jules, you have something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that when Shani says she got swatted was the time that Rev hit that car in the school parking lot, and the police came to issue him a ticket, and he fought the police officer. I think she's claiming that also was when she got swatted as well.
Of course. It's always the atheists.
And make an example out of one of them, because until that happens, they're not going to stop. And we all know there's only about maybe 3 to 5 of them that show their faces that you can actually go after. Like, I believe when over there on what's that channel called? I don't even remember what it's called. Rumor Research Lab. I believe that channel is a joke. I unsubbed and everything. That channel's a joke. That channel's a joke. And a lot of us Christians,
they don't have much content,
are really thinking about taking action against that particular person, because that wasn't right. And I still say that to this very day. It just wasn't right. It just wasn't right.
Pause.
You go first, Will.
See, this is where I'm almost inclined to agree with him. That's kind of, in my opinion, crossing a boundary. That's like taking it to the next step. But there's absolutely nothing legal about it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take action against someone for posting something that is public record.
That's what I was going to say. Don't they usually just show clips?
Well, I mean, the whole like Shani arrest video, that's like a 5-part video.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of get what G-Man's saying. Is like posting someone's like arrest video. That's that's the line in the sand where you cross that, and that's kind of a declaration. But at the same time, there's nothing illegal about it. You can't take action for that. G-Man has this weird thing in his head where, rumor research is showing Shani's personal information. That's not hers. That's the state of Colorado.
Mm.
I've been arrested. If you want to find my personal information and, get a fucking FOIA request, yeah, you can probably find up my fucking arrest video. It's nowhere near as entertaining.
Oh, we got a bad boy on the panel.
Ooh.
I had no VI. Shocking, right?
Shocking.
Well, I just think it's interesting that G-Man feels this way now. But I remember, because it was around the time where G-Man got kicked out the house, so he was feeling some type of way. When Drag was mentioning it, G-Man was in his chat, and he was having a ball. He was like, "Oh, wow. Oh, I can't wait to watch that." Ooh. I mean, he was just excited. I think he was more excited than everybody that's sitting here or in the comments section. Yeah. So for him to now sit here and be like, "Oh, it was just wrong, and it just why could they? Oh my, no. Oh, why I would never. Like shut
me.
Shut up, G-Man. You were clapping along and just praising it and thought it was just the greatest thing. Talking about something, he gonna bring his popcorn. Boy, bye. Just stop. I'm sorry. I just can't with the bullshit. I can't.
Didn't G-Man super chat Drag?
Yeah, thank you, Wilson. Well, I like y'all. He sure did on that same stream. He super chatted. Yeah.
And then once the body cam footage came out, G-Man's like, "Oh no, like you might not want to play this." No, he absolutely can.
Yep. Burnt Toast brought up a great point there. I highlighted that it was actually to defend other content creators because she was lying.
Yeah.
Like I've only watched one or two Rumor Research Lab videos other than stuff that's been shared on other channels. It seems to me they just pretty much play the content. There's not a lot of commentary. There's not a lot of finger pointing. It's just, here's what's out there. But maybe I've seen the wrong videos.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that if you played that video to Rev right now, I'm willing to bet that if you played that video right now to Rev, he would have no memory of it, even from watching it last year.
Yeah.
Because his fucking head's so, addled.
Yep.
And like I Jello Shots said it best. Like Shani taking him off alcohol the way that she did retarded him to where I don't think that he's capable of having memories longer than a year old. He has the memory of a fucking goldfish now.
Yeah.
That's why he's saying that, Shani never hit me intentionally. It was my anger issues. No, she fucking hit you with a whip, dude. That's why she got arrested.
Yep, and you called.
They're not putting that up there for information purposes. They're doing that to hurt Shani and Rev. That's why they're
one of
them.
them.
They're doing.
Disagree. Reading is hard. Take your time. Sound them out.
You know what I mean? So, and they've been coming after them for a few years now. This is not something that's been going on for a few weeks. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, they've been coming after Shani and Rev now, I think, for 2, 3, 4. No, actually, come to think about it, even before her divorce with Chris, she has been going through this for just about as long as I've known her on here. Maybe 5 to 7 years, I would say. Maybe a little longer. I would say 5 to 7 years. She's been going through this constant back and forth with these people. Me personally, they're not bothering me.
Aren't you one of them,
I did two things.
Yeah, another good catch. I mean, G-Man was on the other side of a lot of that for a while. Yes, you do. Man.
That helped out my psyche out a lot. I don't watch your channels. Praise the Lord. And the second thing is that I'm not engaging with them in the comment section no more. If I do anything now, I delete their comments. That's what I do. Because I know a beaten person when I see a beaten person. I know what my goals are. My goals are not to get on here and go, I'm smarter than you. My goal is to get on here to save people. And believe me when I say this. every time I talk to somebody about this particular community, they get turned off. They're unsubbing from the channel, and these people are no longer atheists. I recently found out that a friend of mine on here, who was an atheist, who claimed they was an atheist, is no longer an atheist. And they're not atheists. They believe that they're not Christian yet, but they believe that a God exists, and I'm so happy about that. So happy. So again, what they're doing is hurting them. And to close, you guys got to remember something. YouTube, the internet trolling that atheists do hurts them in the long term. Let me tell you why. You got a person like Shannon Q promoting positive atheism and trying to spread atheism. You got a lot of these new blood people who don't understand what goes on here on the internet that are creating content trying to win atheists. Now, don't hunt the atheist experience. What's starting to even everything out is that when they say they're people, and then they come to this side of the community and they're saying, wait a minute, Matt Dillahunty said these people know the Bible better than everybody else. Matt Dillahunty says that these people are better than God and all this other stuff, but these people are no different than a common criminal. And that makes me happy because I see people leaving atheism. Now, I'm not saying that they're becoming Christians, but they're becoming theists, but they're leaving atheism. I don't care if they don't believe me. It's not important to me that they believe me. What's important is that they're losing this war. That is what's important. They're losing this war. Because if they was winning this war, I couldn't get on here and make a claim like that.
Oh, thank God you're on that wall, Gman. Thank you so much.
So
we're at war.
Y'all know I want to win people to Christ.
Yeah, apparently.
You know what I mean? If Revelation News can spend a two.
Sorry, I had to get up. Do you guys want to comment on something?
Oh, we
No,
were
I was
just
just
thanking
being a
G-Man for his
sarcastic
service.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing the work of the Lord for sure.
2 or 3 weeks without reading that live chat. He'll probably get back on here again and talk about Jesus or something like that. Shanny for Christ will get on here and talk about Jesus. But like I said, these live chats are so toxic, you know, because we're all different. Some people just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So the live shows have kind of changed the game a little bit. We got to start ignoring this live chat. If people are going to come on your platform with your rules, treat it like your house. If they come in your house and they're being disrespectful in your house, block them.
Didn't he say?
I watched the stream.
Did he say not to block him?
Gave everybody a second chance. And then the
block
same people that
somebody
she
that's in
blocked
your house?
are still coming to her platform and being disrespectful
It's called a machete.
and attacking her even more now.
You vote them
Which is
out.
why they're still blocked here.
I'm really confused. I thought you weren't. You're supposed to not block them and report their comments. Which one is it?
Well, once again, like if you're gonna have a live stream and you disable the live chat, what's the point in having a live stream?
None.
Guys, I just thought of the most brilliant idea ever. So I think, wouldn't it be funny if we did like a Big Brother kind of feel episode, but it's like Shanny, Rev, G-Man, Vaughn, and then like some of us trolls in the house together, and we have to live together and see how that goes.
That would be hilarious.
How close would we have to
you have to vote people out.
Wow, that would be awesome.
Well, my question would be like, how close do we have to like sleep to one another? Because I'm not sleeping anywhere near Vaughn. Like I'll sleep in the fucking lawn.
No, it'd be like the Big Brother house. Like it's huge.
Yep.
Like you don't have to sleep in the same room. But I think we would all just either vote ourselves out so we can get out of the house, or we just all team up and vote Vaughn out. I would have to vote Vaughn out first, like because I could not be in the same room as Vaughn. Like no.
Oh no, like I'd save Vaughn for last.
Yeah, he'd have to be the last one.
They'd be the blue team. We'd be the red team. We have to do activities and competitions. And, that'd be awesome. That's a great idea.
Oh, Shanny, my heart, my
fiber.
I would have to suggest that my room be upstairs. That way, Vaughn and Shanny can't get to me.
Yes.
I know that's petty, but this is coming from a dude that has no cartilage in both knees.
Oh, no.
But I still work 10 hours a fucking day on my feet.
Nice.
So suck a dick, Vaughn, for claiming to be disabled.
And we're reading again. We're reading. It's hard. Words and stuff.
What is this word?
Let me give those of you who are Christians out there a little bit of encouragement. Vecco had to remind me of this not that long ago. But in Matthew chapter 5, this is what the Bible says in Matthew 5. And this is for the saints. This is for the Christians out there. Jesus said, and now listen very carefully to what he said, because it only applies to what he said. He said that if someone persecutes you for righteousness' sake or for his name's sake, right, then you are going to be blessed in the kingdom of heaven. Because you are going to be like the Jeremiahs and the Ezekiels and the other prophets that were before you. You have to count it as joy, and you have to keep that in your mind.
Persecution
comes.
comes.
You got to repeat. You're like, oh, look, this person saying this stuff about me. That ain't true.
So pause.
That person doesn't know nothing.
So when people go after Vaughn for being a negligent fucking parent, is that not righteous?
To his gods, I guess.
Well, I mean, just in the like even to no gods, like isn't it not a righteous cause?
You would think so. Den of iniquity and all that.
Fuck Kentucky CPS. Way to drop the fucking ball.
Yep. We're almost finished here.
You do me a favor, baby, and block that person. Thank you. Rev, baby, honey, I'm gonna beat your behind in this war game. Get over there and play Gears of War with me.
That's not a good choice of words there.
And then just ignore these idiots, or just turn the live chat off until they behave, or wait until you got 3 or 4 of your moderators in your live chat, and then give them warning and say, look, if anybody comes in my live chat and brings up so and so, get rid of them.
Funny, you didn't give that warning to Reverend Shanny today. They just start banning people left and right.
Yeah, as soon as Rev and Shanny were in there. Does he have any other moderators?
He's got Jill. Yeah, he's got Jill. He's got Veckel. He's got Vaughn. He's got Pillbox. Yeah, Pillbox. He's a great fucking moderator.
Somebody named Pamela.
Oh, he got called out for fighting with me a couple weeks ago in one of Gman's or in one of Shanny's streams. No, it was Gman's stream. And somebody else came in and said he was abusing the wrench. Boy, he's still pissed about that.
I still love the fact that G-Man was dumb enough to give the fake Von Helton account a fucking wrench.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Racist.
No.
I hope Shanny doesn't get mods on her channel because it'd be pointless.
Yeah.
The only person I think that she would be willing to give mods to is Becky.
Yeah. Who is one of us?
One of us.
That is the longest term troll. That is a long game, man. Lawn. This has been going on.
I don't know how they do it because fuck.
At this point, I'm wondering what the end game is.
I was actually shocked to see someone actually complete the meme that somebody made the fucking Becky Goodhair's cat.
Long time.
And Rev in my live chat, both of them got wrenches. Nobody's getting away with being disrespectful in this live chat while they're here.
Ooh,
Nobody.
We're so scared.
If they wasn't here, I can only imagine what they would be saying in this live chat.
Nothing, because we're all blocked.
No, the fake Vaughn that had mods in G-Man's chat, it wasn't diecast racist. Because, yeah, spoiler alert, that's me.
Oh, yeah.
It was diecast racing with Vaughn, but that's Grandpa Irv.
Oh, God. And apparently there's a fake spoken that has a wrench in G-Man's too.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I totally knew who that is.
They were talking about it in Discord. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm actually spoken in there, and the real spoken is also in there. That's awesome.
I think we're on that same call, Todd.
Yeah.
So again, guys, I hope this video benefits somebody out there. These YouTube trolls on here, these people on here who lack empathy and lack sympathy and lack love. Remember, they're not paying your bills. Why do you care what they think? If they're not putting food on your table, if they're not putting clothes on your back, if they're not providing for your household, if they're not giving you spiritual food, listen to me.
Oh yeah, he went to spiritual food there real quick because he knew what he was saying. Was that a little admonition there?
Mm-hmm.
If they're not providing for you, if they're not paying your bills, that ain't food.
I think I just heard Drag laugh in the background.
Yeah, he's playing a game on Discord.
Paying your bills. Very interesting.
They're not sitting on the throne where Christ is sitting. Why do you care what they think?
Sounds like plastic.
Why?
You're wrong.
Well, that's about the end of it, but that sums it up great. Why do you care what you think? G-Man, you just made an entire video about caring what they think.
Right.
And class for G-Man.
You just disproved your entire video, dude. Could have said that. It'd have been a 10-second stream.
So,
hey, internet trolls, why do you care what they think? GTV. Oh my goodness. What a moron. Well, that was fun. I wanted to jump on that one pretty quick. I know some other people will probably want to review it, and that's fine. You're not going to step on my toes. You find other things to poke at, but it was so egregious. And I woke up this morning and there it was. So I just wanted to jump on it pretty quick this afternoon.
I definitely made sure to clip the part where he kind of covers up for Reb, like saying everybody needs to kill themselves. So when somebody needs it in the future, they can have it. Because I'm sure it's going to get brought back up where G-Man defended them for no reason. There was no reason Reb should have said that.
Yeah, and of course he didn't.
Nope.
He said, well, it's I guess he addressed it once. It's a one-time thing.
Histrionics.
Yeah. No,
and then Shani was in the chat saying, I rebuked him for it, which we know she said something to him, but then he said it again, like maybe a day later, and Shani goes, I would never say that. And there's proof of Shani saying it in the past.
Yep. I hope Jesus strikes you down. It's not terribly hard to figure out what you say in there. Especially after the Trevor thing.
Yeah, well, this is what I find hilarious about that is Shani claims that she would never tell anyone that. She told that to me. And this was during a period of time where, I was hopping into Reverend Shani's stream last year because they did the whole fucking 16-hour fucking Von Helton stream.
And it wasn't very long ago. Mark Weiser did a stream about her threatening a senator, I think.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mark Weiser jumped on that, and I think he said he called the FBI. I don't remember if he actually did it, but you can't do stuff like that.
I think he did because Shani goes, we had a great talk with the FBI on the phone. Like, the FBI calls you up and goes, hey, what's going on? How are you doing today?
Because that's how the FBI investigates things.
Of course.
Yep.
But the whole, Shani telling me to eat shit or, fuck off and die or eat shit and kill myself, I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
It was, the stream had been taken off air, and she asked me, so what do you think about, Grampy Lobster and this other fucker, yelling at me about my stance about Charles Manson?
Yeah.
Because there was a big dust up between Grampy Lobster and Big C.
Yeah.
Where they had this fucking marriage counseling session for Reverend Shani, and then all of a sudden it turned to the topic of Charles Manson, where Shani's talking about
Was Vaughn involved in that?
No.
Because he would have been on that.
Where Shani's basically saying no, Manson was a patsy. He was used by the government to take attention away from the Vietnam War. I'm like, no, Manson was a fucking monster. Now, whether you're talking about, nature versus nurture, monsters aren't, made, they're not born, they're made, however you want to define it, Manson was a fucking monster. And when me and Shani had that conversation, I'm like, no, I disagree with you. Manson's a fucking monster. I'm glad he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
That's when I got the words, well, fuck off and die. And
wow. Which, most of us would say, oh, that's something you say in an argument. But if you're going to make the case that it's illegal behavior, and that you shouldn't do it, you got to look at your own house first. And that might be something. I've got one more week of quarantine. I might research and see how many instances of that I can find from those two. Of course, they've probably taken a lot of them down, but they're
archived.
Yeah,
there's
don't
other
worry.
That might be an interesting, just spliced together.
I'll tell you what, man. Like the most awkward moment in Shani's fucking stream that I ever had, and it was fucking Rev's stream because her stream got taken. Like she got, I think, DMCA'd by Brett. Was when Shani made the comment of, "Look, G-Man, I got 1,000 subs for calling you the N-word."
Oh,
I'm in that fucking room.
Nice.
I wished that there had just been a trap door to open underneath me. I don't care what's at the bottom. I'm like, that fucking laugh, I'm done.
Good. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, thank you. It's almost been 2 hours. I wanted to shut this down and watch a little football because, second half's all you got to watch. Well, appreciate y'all coming by. Thank you guys for participating. LC, you still there? She's probably listening. Mrs. D, any shout outs?
Thanks for having me. That's all.
My pleasure. Wilson, got anything you want to show?
Not really. Unsubscribe from Dragnaut.
Yeah, subscribe to Drag.
No,
Jules, what you got?
Unsubscribe. Make a good job.
Jules, thanks for coming in. Any last words?
Yeah, shout out to Mrs. D.
Yeah, thanks for coming. All right, guys, we'll do it again. Hopefully we'll get some more content. Hopefully he's got some time from his job. Oh, appropriate use of air quotes. Time from his job. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.